What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Big Ru's Movie TV Reviews, where I take movies and TV shows and give them my personal point of view. Just my point of view, so take it with a grain of salt. Okay, I just finished watching it not too long ago, and I'm gonna do a spoiler review because this series been out for like a week, and some people seen it, some people don't. I'm talking about Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix. So if you didn't see the series, if you didn't see it, do not watch this video. Turn this video off, go watch it, and then come back. If you did see it, hey, join the party. All right. Just sit there, relax, listen to me yap my mouth. But basically, Jupiter's Legacy is basically based off the comic book novel of the same name from Image Comics. And and Image is doing real good. I mean, basically two Image-based comic books shows are there. With Jupiter's Legacy, and the one I'm going to review next is Invincible. But Jupiter's Legacy, let's start because the concept of it's basically two period pieces in each episode. You have the 1930s and today. But let me explain what this is about. Once again, this is a spoiler review, so you've been warned. Basically, this story takes place in the 1930s. Let's start off with there. Wealthy businessman Sheldon Sampson, runs a family business with his brother Walter and his father. All three of them run a business, and family business thing just so okay. But then there was the great crash, crash of 1929. I would say 1929, close to the 30s. If it was the great stock crash, and his father's company was affected. His father was so embarrassed, so he took his own life. He took his own life right in front of Sheldon, and really messed him up. I mean, he was real messed up. But at the funeral, Sheldon was starting to see visions of an island, visions of people to go to a certain island. He don't know what it is, but it's something. So, and then the spirit of his father is in his head, convincing him, go to the island, go there, fuck everybody else, go there, whatever the case may be. He tried to look. He went to a farm. He met this guy. This guy had the same visions. He shot himself in the head, killed himself. So, hey. But then he wanted to do an expedition and get the five other characters, including his brother, his best friend George, a reporter that he later marries, and a black guy and another guy. All six together to go, because this is what it was saw in his vision. This is what he saw. So take these guys on an expedition on the boat to an island on the Pacific, and they go there. They go through trials and tribulations, and they pass the test. And now all of a sudden they have superpowers. They become superheroes. All six of them. They become superheroes. Now, Sheldon wants to use these powers for good. So Sheldon creates the Union of Superheroes. Kind of like the Justice League, the X-Men, the Avengers, blah, 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 blah. But Sheldon told them, you have to go through a thing called the Code. The Code is never kill and never get involved in political business. And, things were looking good for them until one of them betrays them. That would be George. George is named Skyfox. Skyfox in this. He betrays them because he doesn't believe in the code. He said the code held him back. So he became a super villain. They had to stop them. They had to stop him, but they real messed up about that. But it is what it is. Now we go 80 years later, I would say in our time. Now, now better known as the Utopia, Sheldon, he has a wife, Lady Liberty, the reporter, and his brother Walter, who has psychic powers. Um, they try to teach their ways to the youth, to the new generation of today, to be like them, you know. Basically, and I would say Shell and Lady Liberty, they have children. They have children by the name of Chloe, a girl, and Brandon. Don't you start. Okay, you know who I'm talking to. I ain't gonna say his name. Don't you start. But yeah, they have a brother. Yeah, they're brother and sister. And actually, the beginning of the show, you see them, and Chloe's like, I beat you. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of took the thing from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility, blah blah blah. Trying to quote my boy. But these kids, they want these kids to follow in their footsteps. The problem is, one of them doesn't give a shit. The other is trying so hard to get his father's love and trying to be what his father's trying to do, the Utopia. Brandon is the one that's trying to follow in his father's footsteps and to try to be the next Utopia. He's named Paragon. Chloe, the daughter, basically don't give a shit because she feels that what's the point? She has superpowers, but she wants to live a normal life. Well, if you want to talk about normal, she basically is a drug addict, alcoholic chick. But she doesn't want to be a superhero, even though she works modeling. She doesn't want to be a superhero because she felt, both of them is like, the same my daddy wasn't there for me, I mean, the way I see it is this: at least you have a father. Some people don't have their parents or their father. At least you had a father, but no disrespect to the Utopian. I mean, I love Superman because, matter of fact, this reminds me of Superman versus the Elite, where they challenge Superman and be like, Supes, you got all this power. You talk about, running about truth, justice, in the American way. But every time you fight these super villains, they come back. It's like you beat them down, you stop them, but then the next thing you know, they got 3 square meals, they're in jail. And so there's like, why don't you use your powers to take them down? That's what they're saying about the Utopia and his code, because there's like, it's kind of old-fashioned today. I'm like, because you can catch, back in the days, you could catch bad guys robbing banks and ruling the world. Now we're in 2021. Bad guys are actually killing superheroes, okay? They're killing superheroes. And they're at a point that, maybe Utopia's ways is not the way. Maybe you should just, follow the bad guys. But Utopia's like, this is not what the code is about. We're supposed to be higher, the bad guys lower. But now the bad guys like, I don't give a fuck. Because see, the bad guys don't have a code. Their code is do what the fuck they want. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? And Utopia code is being challenged by people over the world. And they see this when his son takes out one of their greatest villains, Black Star, who was escaped from prison where the Union took them on. But Black Star, kills some of the members of the Union, some of the young members. Brandon had no choice but to stop him. He was about to kill the father, people around the world. He was going nuclear, and he killed him. He killed him. To his father's dismay, his father was like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? And his son is like, I had to do what I had to do. He's like, I had no choice. He's like, we burying our friends. We could be burying you. I mean, I look at that part like he had no choice. I mean, I may sound like a hypocrite about this because I love Superman. It reminds me of how Superman is. Reminds me of how the good guys is. But like I said, we're in 2021. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get your point across. Because the bad guys, they don't give a fuck. The bad guys, like I said, it's not catching bad guys robbing banks and ruling the world. They're killing us now. I mean, it sounds hypocritical, but they need to, maybe, I don't know. But he did what he did. Paragon did what he did. And 78% of the American people agrees with him. They agrees that, maybe you guys need to do the same thing as your son did. And Utopia was against it. He hated, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say he hated his son. He was disgusted. Like, his son disrespected the code. Already, Chloe doesn't want to be part of it. Chloe already has a boyfriend or someone she's messing with. And it turns out to be their Utopia and them's ex-friend's son. Sorry. Ex-friend's son, who has a wand. It has the ability to teleport in different places. That wand is mentioned in one of the episodes in the backstory. So they need to talk about that wand, because what's the name's son, he may not have superpowers, but that wand, it could take him to any place as he commands. And he's got a supervillain crew that does like jobs or whatnot, and they work for a guy called the Big Man. And I guess they're trying to use their powers to make a buck, you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is different. This is like real different than many superhero, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, superheroes have been around since the days of Superman, Batman, you know what I'm saying, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's like now they become series. I mean, the last series you saw with Marvel coming back with WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they were good shows. It's like good superhero shows, so superheroes are coming back, But this one is kind of like a question, like it's kind of like a what would you do type shit, similar to Superman versus the Elite. It's like, what would you do? What would you do in this situation where the bad guys, they have no honor, they have no code? You know what I'm saying? They codeless. Kind of like, also similar to what the Joker is saying with Batman in The Dark Knight, because the Batman has a code too. No killing and no guns. The Joker and other villains like that, they just don't give a fuck. They kill and they kill. They have no codes. And it's like, that's like the whole series. It's like, what would you do? But other than that, with the rest of the series, like I said, it's an episode of two time periods, from the 1930s to now. And like I said, I spoiled it, but here's another spoiler of the ending. It's 8 episodes. Some of them is long, some of them is short. But then in the final episode, we learned that Black Star did not do this. When Paragon killed Black Star, it wasn't the Black Star that they know. It was a clone. And Walter, trying to find out who did it, they had the body at their union headquarters, kind of like the Hall of Justice. So they're trying to find out who did it and what's the deal. Come to find out that, we all thought Sky Fox had something to do with it, but come to find out it was Walter himself. It was Walter. He does a betrayal. But see, he does the mind thing. Like, he has mind powers like Xavier, like Charles Xavier from the X-Men. He can go into people's minds, stop them and whatnot. That's what he did. So he figures, you know what I'm saying, his brother's way of life is kind of bullshit. So he has a daughter that has the same powers that's him, but much more powerful. But she's a hit woman, for hire. And they need her help. And when they need her help. And when they did everything they did, the daughter tells the father that if you want me to be quiet, 50 grand, 50 million. Of course, like a bad guy that he is, he kills his own daughter, which is fucked up. And basically his plan is to separate Utopia's son away from his father, to have his son become the leader, and because he believes that code is just bullshit. Kind of like similar to what Sky Fox did when they first betrayed him. But come to find out the brother did it, but he concealed it. I don't know what's going to happen in season 2 if they do another season, but that's crazy, man. I mean, the series is okay. I mean, it's live action, but the pacing was just a little slow. It's like back and forth. It's like your typical superhero series. It's like a certain question about what would you do or whatnot. Overall, it's a pretty good series. It's a pretty good, but the pacing was just, It was just, I mean, big up to Josh Duhamel. Josh Duhamel is the star. Big up to him. You know what I'm saying? He plays the Utopia. And you have the other people who was in it, So, that's the way it is. So, other than that, it's okay. I like it. It's all right. So, could have been better. I don't know what season 2 comes, but it was all right. So I give this I give this series a B-. A B- because they could have done better. Other than that, that's my review. So if you have any questions, subscribe to my channel at Big Rule 28, on YouTube. So other than that, this is my movie TV reviews, and I'll see you next time. Peace.